The dinner plates sat untouched on the table, steam rising from the forgotten meal. Lisa's hands trembled as she gripped the edge of the kitchen counter, Tom's words echoing in her mind like a cruel mantra. "I slept with your sister last Sunday, and I'll never forget that night." He'd said it so casually, as if commenting on the weather. They'd been arguing about something trivial, unpaid bills maybe, or his late nights at work, when he threw the grenade into their marriage. Now, standing in their kitchen, that suddenly felt foreign. Lisa couldn't breathe. "What did you just say?" Her voice came out barely above a whisper. Tom leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed, his expression unreadable. "You heard me. Rachel and I. Last Sunday, when you went to your mother's." Lisa's mind raced back to that Sunday. She'd driven 3 hours to help her mother with home repairs, staying overnight. Tom had complained about being left alone. Rachel had texted her that evening, asking casual questions about Mom's health. Her own sister. Her younger sister, whom she'd protected, supported through college, helped through her divorce. "You're lying," Lisa said, though her heart knew the truth. Something in Tom's eyes, a mixture of defiance and strange satisfaction, told her this wasn't a cruel joke. "Am I?" Tom pushed off the doorframe, moving closer. "She wore that red dress you bought her for her birthday. We had wine. Lots of wine. She told me things about you, Lisa. Things you've never shared with me." The intimacy in his voice when he spoke about Rachel made Lisa's stomach turn. This wasn't just a confession, it was a weapon, deliberately sharpened to wound her as deeply as possible. "Get out," she managed, her voice gaining strength. "Get out of this house right now." Tom's expression flickered, surprise, perhaps even disappointment that she wasn't falling apart in front of him. "It's my house too. I don't care. Leave, now." Lisa's phone was already in her hand, Rachel's number illuminated on the screen. "I need to hear this from her." As Tom grabbed his jacket with infuriating slowness, Lisa pressed call. The phone rang once, twice. When Rachel answered with a cheerful, "Hey sis," Lisa's world tilted on its axis once more.
Rachel agreed to meet at the coffee shop near Lisa's office the next morning. Lisa had barely slept, spending the night in the guest room, replaying every interaction between Tom and Rachel over the past months. Had there been signs, lingering glances, touches that lasted too long? Rachel arrived 15 minutes late, looking immaculate in designer jeans and a silk blouse. The confident younger sister who'd always seemed to have life figured out despite her failed marriage. She slid into the booth across from Lisa, ordering a latte with oat milk before meeting her sister's eyes. "So Tom told you," Rachel said flatly. No apology, no tears, just cold acknowledgement. "How could you?" Lisa's voice cracked despite her determination to stay composed. "My husband, Rachel, my husband." Rachel stirred sugar into her coffee with deliberate slowness. "It just happened, Lisa. We were talking, drinking wine. He was lonely. You're always so busy with work, with Mom, with everything except your marriage." The accusation hit Lisa like a slap. "So, this is my fault?" "I didn't say that." Rachel finally looked genuinely uncomfortable. "Look, it was one night, one stupid, drunken mistake. We both regretted it immediately." "Tom doesn't sound like he regrets it," Lisa said bitterly. "He told me he'd never forget that night. He seemed almost proud." Something shifted in Rachel's expression. Guilt, perhaps. Or was it jealousy? "He said that?" "What exactly happened, Rachel? I need to know everything." Rachel's fingers tightened around her cup. "Does it matter? It happened. I'm sorry. What more do you want?" "The truth." Lisa leaned forward. "Did he seduce you? Did you seduce him? How long has this been going on?" "It was just that one night," Rachel insisted, but her eyes darted away. "He called me, said he was feeling neglected, invited me over. We talked for hours about your relationship, about how you've changed since your promotion. The wine kept flowing, and then it happened. On your couch." The detail felt like a knife twisting. Their couch, the one they'd picked out together, where they'd spent countless evenings watching movies, making love, planning their future. "I think you should leave," Lisa said quietly. "And don't contact me. Not for a long time." Rachel stood, hesitated, as if to say something more, then walked away, leaving Lisa alone with her shattered trust.
Lisa spent the next week functioning on autopilot. She went to work, smiled at colleagues, attended meetings, all while her mind churned through possibilities. Tom had moved to a hotel, calling repeatedly with messages that swung between apologies and justifications. She ignored them all. Instead, she did something she'd never imagined doing. She hired a private investigator. David Chen had come recommended by a colleague who'd gone through a messy divorce. In his modest office, surrounded by filing cabinets and computer screens, he listened to Lisa's story without judgment. "You want me to find out if it was really just one time?" he said, not as a question. "I want the truth, all of it." It took David only 4 days to call her back. "You should come to my office." The manila folder he placed in front of her was thick. Bank statements showed Tom had rented a hotel room 3 months ago, the weekend Lisa had attended her college reunion. Credit card receipts from a jewelry store for a bracelet Lisa had never seen. Text messages David had recovered from Tom's cloud backup, dozens of them, between Tom and Rachel going back 6 months. "I'm sorry, Mrs. Patterson," David said gently. "It wasn't one night." Lisa's hands shook as she read the messages. They started innocent enough, Rachel asking Tom for advice about a work problem, then became more personal. Rachel confiding about her loneliness after her divorce. Tom complaining about feeling invisible in his own marriage. The messages grew more intimate, more frequent, then explicit. One message from 2 months ago stopped Lisa cold. "Last night was incredible. I can't stop thinking about you in that hotel room. When can we do it again?" Tom had responded with a photo. Him shirtless in their bedroom, a photo clearly taken while Lisa was downstairs making dinner. There were more revelations. Tom had taken Rachel to the restaurant where he'd proposed to Lisa. He'd bought her jewelry for her birthday, expensive pieces, while giving Lisa a grocery store gift card. They'd met at least 7 times over 6 months, always when Lisa was away or working late. The affair wasn't a drunken mistake. It was calculated, ongoing, and conducted with shocking disregard for Lisa's feelings. Both Tom and Rachel had lied to her face, minimized their betrayal, and tried to make her feel responsible for their choices. Lisa closed the folder, her decision crystallizing. "Thank you, David. Send me your invoice." Lisa chose Sunday evening for the confrontation, exactly 2 weeks after Tom's confession. She invited both Tom and Rachel to the house separately, timing their arrivals 15 minutes apart. Tom arrived first, hopeful and nervous. "Lisa, thank you for agreeing to talk," he began, but she held up her hand. "Sit down, Tom. We'll wait for Rachel." His face paled. "Rachel? Why?" The doorbell interrupted him. Lisa opened it to find Rachel, confused and wary. "Why is Tom's car in the driveway?" "Because we're all going to have an honest conversation for once," Lisa said, her voice cold and controlled. "Living room, now." Once they were all seated, Tom and Rachel carefully avoiding eye contact, Lisa placed the manila folder on the coffee table. "One night," she said quietly. "That's what you both told me.
One drunken mistake. Rachel opened her mouth, but Lisa continued. The hotel room 3 months ago? The bracelet that cost $1,500? The 7 separate meetings over 6 months? Text messages planning rendezvous while I was at work? She looked at Tom. Photos you sent her from our bedroom? Tom's face drained of color. Rachel started crying, but they were tears of panic, not remorse. How did you? Tom started. How doesn't matter. What matters is that you both lied, repeatedly. You minimized what you did, blamed me, and expected me to just accept it. Lisa's voice remained steady, though her heart was pounding. You took me for a fool. Lisa, please, Rachel sobbed. I was lonely, and Tom was there, and... Don't. Lisa's word cut through the air like a blade. Don't insult me further with excuses. You're my sister. You knew exactly what you were doing. She turned to Tom. And you? You looked me in the eye and told me it was one night, like that made it better. You let me feel guilty, questioning what I'd done wrong in our marriage. Tom found his voice. I do love you, Lisa. This thing with Rachel, it was just excitement. Something different. It didn't mean what we have means nothing. Lisa almost laughed at the absurdity. What we have, Tom? We have nothing. We had a marriage, had.
Lisa stood, looking down at the two people who'd betrayed her most profoundly. The tears had dried during her sleepless nights. The anger had crystallized into something harder, more purposeful, self-respect. I'm filing for divorce, she announced. My lawyer already has the evidence. The house is in my name since my father helped with the down payment. You have 1 week to collect your things, Tom. Lisa, wait. Tom stood, reaching for her. She stepped back. Don't touch me. You lost that right when you touched my sister. Turning to Rachel, Lisa felt a strange calm settle over her. As for you, I don't have a sister anymore. Mom will be devastated, but she'll understand when I show her the evidence. Family isn't just blood. It's loyalty, love, respect. You destroyed all of that. Rachel's tears came harder now, genuine at last. Lisa, please, I'm so sorry. I'll do anything. There's nothing to do. It's done. Lisa moved toward the door, gesturing them out. Leave, both of you. I have a locksmith coming in an hour. Tom tried one last time. We can fix this. Carriage counseling, therapy, whatever you need. What I need is self-respect, which neither of you can provide. What I need is honesty, which neither of you can provide. What I need is a fresh start without people who betrayed me while claiming to love me. She held the door open, unwavering. Tom and Rachel exchanged glances, perhaps realizing for the first time the true cost of their affair. Not just a marriage ending, but a family fracturing, a sister lost, a future altered. As they left, Rachel turned back one last time. I really am sorry. Lisa met her eyes with a steady gaze. I know you are. You're sorry you got caught. You're sorry there are consequences. But you're not sorry enough that you stopped after the first time, or the second, or the 7th. So your apology means nothing. She closed the door on them both, on her marriage, on her sisterhood, on the life she'd built with lies as its foundation. The house was silent, but it no longer felt suffocating. It felt like possibility. Lisa walked to the kitchen, poured herself a glass of wine, and called her lawyer. Tomorrow, she would begin rebuilding. Tonight, she would finally sleep soundly, knowing she'd chosen herself over people who'd never truly chosen her.